Hi, I'm Patrick Giguère with Cosmic Alchemist Astrology, and welcome to this video. So, I'm making this video basically by popular demand. Some of the people in my weekly Qigong class, which I teach every Tuesday night, we've been doing the Heart Center Qigong at my office where I do acupuncture. And some of the people who attend the class were asking me about mantras because I got into the whole the mantra for Narasingha. So Narasingha is a figure from Vedic mythology, one of the avatars of Vishnu. So Vishnu is the soul of the cosmos, the spirit of the cosmos, this idea of this, one all-powerful, all-seeing, ever-present God. So Narasingha is the fierce, angry persona of Vishnu. And the thing about anger is that in the modern world we've been taught that anger is bad and it might be evil and it's not good, and people get angry or crazy and mentally unbalanced and they're assholes. It's not the case. Anger is a great catalyst for change, and that's what it's all about. Basically, when anger is a fiery energy. When the wood, your expansive energy, your wood energy, your ether energy, when it wants to accomplish something and it bumps into an invisible wall, then anger flares. And anger is all about breaking down invisible barriers. So this one of these mantras I'm going to share is all about empowering the solar plexus, which is the center of personal power. And it's all about basically destroying the self-criticism in your life that stops you from doing things. So we all have things in life we want to do, and sometimes we find we have a hard time doing them. Different reasons. Sometimes our goals are unrealistic, sometimes they're not what we really want. And I think most of the time we just criticize ourselves and we don't allow ourselves to do it. So that's what this is all about. It's all about destroying the self-criticism in the solar plexus. It cleans out the solar plexus. It burns the self-criticism away, and it lets your heart do the things that it wants to do. And something you have to keep working at, but you notice mental shifts within yourself not long after dedicating yourself to this. So, yeah. So I'm going to keep this simple. The primer for these mantras, what I recommend is do the Heart Center Qigong. And I recommend, do this as much as you can. I make an effort to do this daily. I don't always do it daily, but I do it most days of the week. I've been doing the Heart Center Qigong and then these mantras. And my teacher basically turned me on to these mantras. He created a whole ritual for the eclipse season, so the 12 of the days between the lunar and solar eclipses back in November and December. So, yeah, this is all about empowering yourself. So, I'll get into the mythology a little bit and we'll go into the nuts and bolts. So, Narasingha basically means like man-lion or lion-man, divine man-lion. So the thing about Vishnu is the spirit of the cosmos, doesn't have, in the mythology, doesn't have a predictable physical appearance. Not a consistent one. He's always taking on different avatars because he's the soul of the universe, just like we're souls. And in every incarnation we take on a different persona, we take on a different avatar. So Vishnu does this in the mythology. So in the myths, every time the world is in trouble, people pray to Vishnu, or the gods pray to Vishnu. And he incarnates as one of 9 of his avatars. And the avatars are kind of personifications of the planets. So they have the essence and the personality of the different planets. So Narasingha is the avatar, Vishnu's avatar from Mars. So again, it's the mantra, Narasingha is the avatar of Vishnu's divine anger. And Mars is, anger, volatility, conquest, warrior energy, building, surgery, all that stuff. So in the myth, and these names are tough, but in the myth, basically, there was a, one sec. So in the myth, there was basically a, kind of a tyrant. There was a king who was a tyrant. His name was HIRANYAKASHIPU. So HIRANYAKASHIPU was, he wanted to rule the whole earth. He wanted to basically be more powerful than Vishnu, you know, the soul of the universe. And he was very oppressive. He was an all-around dick. And so he doesn't just want to rule everything. He doesn't want to just rule the universe. He wants to rule forever. And he basically does all these rituals and prays to Brahma. So Brahma is the, in the Vedic or Hindu Trinity, Brahma is the creator. So you've got Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Brahma is the creator. So he does all of these rituals for Brahma. He wants to get a boon from Brahma. He wants to get a reward for his devotion. And one day Brahma appears to him when he's done it enough. And Brahma says, you know, what do you want? What do you want for your boon that I owe you? And the guy says, well, I want to be immortal. And, you know, Brahma says, well, you can't have that. Everybody who's born on earth in a physical body has to die someday. You might live a very long time, but you'll die someday. So HIRANYAKASHIPU's not happy about this. So this is a lot like our leaders today, who want to like upload themselves into a computer, you know, so they can be all-knowing and, you know, immortal and all that stuff. So when he can't get this boon from Brahma, he just gets crazier and more egomaniacal and, you know, more of a tyrant. And one thing he does is he forbids Vishnu worship in his domain, in his kingdom, in his empire. And it's basically anybody caught worshiping Vishnu will be executed. Now the ironic thing that happens is his son, whose name is PRAHLADA, is he's extremely devoted to Vishnu, and in the myth he actually becomes aware of Vishnu when he's in utero, before he's even born. And after he's born, he's basically a closet Vishnu devotee. So one day his father, this tyrant, you know, HIRANYAKASHIPU, finds out that he's been praying to Vishnu. And this king, this HIRANYAKASHIPU, he's extremely paranoid of Vishnu. And basically what Vishnu is divinity. And, you know, one thing that this guy was asking Brahma for with the immortality is he was trying to create the perfect wish for the genie in the bottle. So he was basically saying, I want to be immortal and not be able to be killed by man or animal, indoors or outdoors, at day or at night, in the air or on land, and he creates all these little conditions. So he's extremely paranoid. So one day HIRANYAKASHIPU finds his son PRAHLADA praying to Vishnu, and it's in their temple, or their, you know, kind of their hall. And he's furious, and he picks up a mace, and there's a brass column, and he screams at his son, and he says, is Vishnu in here? And he breaks the column open, and inside of it is this giant, like, man lion. It's like a giant man with a head and the claws of a lion. So, and it's Narasingha, it's the fierce divine man lion, the avatar of Vishnu, the avatar from Mars. So Narasingha picks up HIRANYAKASHIPU, and it's at dusk when this happens. So at dusk he carries him to the outer doorway, puts him on his knee, and he disembowels him. So basically this guy couldn't come up with enough loopholes to keep himself safe from God, basically. So God, Vishnu, the unseen god of the universe, Vishnu, came in the form of this man lion, and he disemboweled him at dusk in a doorway and over his knee. So he was neither on land nor in the air. It wasn't day or night because it was dusk. It wasn't indoors or outdoors because it was in a doorway. And Narasingha was neither man nor animal because he was like this man-lion kind of chimera hybrid thing. So it's all about how the story, this myth of Narasingha is like you can't stop God, you can't stop the divine in the universe. And that's what this ritual is going to be all about. So let's get into some nuts and bolts of it. So the way I recommend priming this is, again, do the heart-centered Qigong. If you don't have the video and you really want to get into this, go to my site and download it. It's heart-centered Qigong. I think it's marked as new, it's like the newest video that I've uploaded. So yeah, you do that Qigong. If you don't want to do the Qigong, then you can still do the mantras. Just do some kind of energy work that gets you tuned into your body's energy. So, alright, so now the mantras. So my teacher gave this to me as like a 12-day thing, but you can do it the way you want it. But what he recommended is days 1 through 9, you do the mantra for Narasingha. And then days 10, 11, 12, you do a mantra for Lakshmi. So Lakshmi is a goddess who, in the mythology, is the wife of Vishnu. So Vishnu is the soul of the universe. Lakshmi is the physical universe. So they're very good complementary pair. And in the mythology, after Narasingha, this avatar of Vishnu, this incarnation of Vishnu, after he killed the tyrant HIRANYAKASHIPU, he was just, nothing could basically quench his anger, and his anger was like shaking the earth and scaring everybody. So then his wife Lakshmi had to come calm him down. So that's why with the last 3 days of this 12-day ritual, you do the Lakshmi mantra. So basically days 1 through 9, we motivate this anger in the solar plexus. We use it to cleanse our self-criticism that we use to sabotage and block our goals, and then we harmonize it. So, do the heart-centered Qigong, do some energy work, do whatever you want to do. Then, to do this Narasingha, this Mars mantra, what you're going to do is face south, sit down, face south, and put a candle in front of you. Light a candle, put it in front of you. So find out where south is, sit down, put a candle in front of you, and you can look at the flame. And what you're going to do is you're going to chant the this mantra. So for days 1 through 9. And it doesn't have to be 9 consecutive days. If you miss days here and there, just make sure you've racked up 9 days in a reasonable period of time. So that mantra, facing south with the candle in front of you, because south is a direction of the fire home. Muspelheim, the fire home, is the direction of Mars. South is where the sun lives, it's where the fire lives. So you're going to do all that. The mantra is going to be Om KRSHAUNG Narasingha NAHAMA. So Om KRSHAUNG Narasingha NAHAMA. So it's basically, well, you know what? I'll leave the chant to the end. So Om KRSHAUNG Narasingha NAHAMA. So you do that 108 times. If you have a mala bead, you see like yoga teachers or just plain old yogis wearing these. It has 108 beads, and what you do is, take it back off. You start with your middle finger holding the tassel, and as you say it, you pull the beads towards you, so you do it 108 times. In the whole Vedic medicine system, you have 108 energy centers in your body, so you're energizing these. So you do that 108 times, so that's 9 days worth, and then you close the practice. So again, the mantra Om KRSHAUNG Narasingha NAHAMA 108 times, or you can just set a time. You can do it for 10 minutes, and when you see the 10 minutes are up, you're done. No strict rules how to do it. It just depends how you want to do it. I'm kind of old school, so I like that stuff. So once you've done that, then you just put your hands on your belly button, on your navel, and you do the HUUL breath. You can do it silently or audibly. I like it audibly because it creates a resonance with my feet. Now, if you don't know the HUUL breath, it's a grounding breath. The sound Hu is it's for the earth element in the Chinese 5-element scheme, in the 5-element theory. So you're going to generate and release and gather energy doing the QIGONG and then this mantra. You want to ground it, because a lot of the energy that you gather in like QIGONG practices and in meditations, it's a lot of like celestial energy, and your body doesn't really know what to do with it. So you ground it and send it to the earth, and the earth digests it for you, and it sends it back in a much more usable form. So you do the mantra, you do this HUUL breath. So it's basically HUUL, and just with your hands on your navel. If you have the video, if you've done the practice with me, then I've talked a lot about the HUUL breath. So again, days 1 through 9, Om KRSHAUNG Narasingha NAHAMA. And then days 10, 11, 12, it's the Lakshmi mantra. So for Lakshmi, you want to face southeast. The planet that corresponds with Lakshmi is Venus, because Venus is all about physicality and sensual pleasures and romance and sexuality and all that stuff. So the direction for Venus is southeast. So for days 10, 11, 12 with the Lakshmi mantra, you face southeast. You can put out a bowl of water, put out water in some form. And then that mantra is Om Shring Lakshmi Narasinghaya Nama. Om Shring Lakshmi Narasinghaya Nama. So let's do the pronunciations now, and it's about 15 or so minutes, so I'll wrap this up. All right, so days 1 through 9, the Narasingha, the NARASINGHAYA mantra. So again, this is for empowering the solar plexus, defeating self-criticism. So this one is Om KRSHAUNG Narasinghaya NAHAMA. 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 KRSHAUNG NARASINGHAYA NAHAMA Om KRSHAUNG NARASINGHAYA NAHAMA. Alright, so the Lakshmi mantra, again facing southeast. Om Shring Lakshmi Narasinghaya Nahama. 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 All right, so that'll give you something to go on. Yeah, and do your whole breath. You know, hands over the navel, close down after that. Close your circle, and that'll give you something to go on. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you get something out of it. I sure like them a lot. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in.